Yours
Cool.
is in front of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Blake's as well, it's on my desk.
You can come and find it.
Right?
I'm like, I guess I could mail it to him and be there when he got back, but I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
Hey, Brock.
Even though that's our employee.
No, well,
I couldn't tell.
I haven't gotten that close. I'm going off what I'm told.
Well, it's only yay big in spot. It's only yay big.
The deer.
Well,
Mom got hit on the interstate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Oh, by the little rest area, I'm pretty sure that was too bad. Cause he stayed in that area all by himself. Yeah,
What's that?
He's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Just worried the guy was.
That's why I'm hoping he makes friends before too long.
Well, there's another mom with a dog running around.
I know, and I'm kind of hoping he'll just,
But that one's way skittish. I always see him run by the shop. I never see him.
they hang out at the other corner from me quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, they always run through Larson's.
Mhm.
hi, Andrew. I look up and I'm like, that's not.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I say anything, if any non-resident, it's like, it's possibly resident, is a resident.
Sure.
If there's anybody that's not a resident of Harwood that is willing to allow a resident of Harwood to come in, that would be wonderful, but if not, it's fine, I'm just bringing it up.
Blake did say he can hear us, so.
Okay. Yeah, we're at capacity.
Hey, I just recommend that, like the last meeting, we moved it to the community center so
We
that,
can't, they had something.
oh, they have the event there.
And I moved that it possibly postpone then, because obviously you have more Harwood residents that are wanting to attend this meeting. And obviously a lot of voices that want to be heard. And you guys are ignoring your duties as civil servants and letting us have our voices be heard.
Don't shake your head. You serve us.
Am I correct, Sheila? This is just a meeting for the second reading,
Correct.
right? We're not deciding anything else, correct?
I did.
Okay, thank you. I can sit in that chair.
And that ordinance is passed, they get to proceed with their construction.
Well, no, they called a
Yes.
special meeting to do this.
With no public comment section. It's none of the residents of Harwood that we talked to actually knew anything about this. So
I found
it's
out
being
yesterday.
hidden.
I found out yesterday. It was on Channel 11 News.
Yeah, we always find out on the news.
Yeah,
3
Yeah.
weeks ago.
How about our
started.
city officials talk to us?
great.
All right, Shayla, are we ready? I got 5:30 here.
We're ready.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Shayla, if you would do roll call, please.
You're here.
Dick.
Dick's here. Chris Higgins.
I'm here.
Jamie, Chris Fix. I am. Jeremy is. City Attorney Sarah Weir's here. Public Works Supervisor Jeremy Snyder is here. We're good.
Okay,
Andrew's online.
Okay, great. First item on the agenda is the second reading of the rezoning. Any council members have any comments, concerns regarding that item specifically?
Lake,
Not-
no,
All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
Before we go into a motion, can we ask a question, please?
I think that'd be fair.
Blake,
Yep, I'm sorry, yep.
we have some comments from the crowd here. Are we gonna proceed with the meeting or?
Well, I guess, I was planning to proceed with the meeting. Would anyone on council like to address that particular item? Is anyone on council? I know there's four of you guys. Does anyone want to postpone this meeting?
Nope.
No,
Okay, then on to the second reading regarding rezoning. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
All right, I'm gonna move over the building permit only because it's moot if we approve Midwest Inspection Services, the way I understand it. So, I guess, Councilman Nedham, if you would entertain us with Midwest Inspection Services and what you found out.
go ahead, Dick.
I think the building permit was approved, subject to the second reading, so it is approved.
Mhm.
So we don't need to do that. So the next item would be the building permit, MBN Engineering. According to the schedule, or the agenda I got here.
yeah.
Yep, okay. Well, in talking to Sarah earlier, and Sarah, maybe you can fill the rest of council in. For some reason, I thought that was kind of a moot item if we approved Midwest Inspection Services. Sarah, if you would go ahead.
Right, that's if you approve contracting with Midwest Inspections to do the inspections for, or the handle building permit for this, then it's out of the city's hands and they take care of it all. So I think it makes sense to discuss that before anything having to do with the building permit. I guess.
Lake, may I have a few minutes?
Yes, please.
Okay, so right now, we do have a building inspector in town. He's been kind of doing a public service to the community. Generally, it's a much smaller project than what we have in front of us right at the moment. He has offered to continue on and take this project and then work with structural engineers and all of the necessary people that we need to contract out with. The other option we have is to work with Midwest Inspections out of Mapleton. And I'm going to give the floor to Mike and let him talk about everything he can offer.
Sure, thank you. Jamie. Thanks, members of the council. Mike Blevins with Midwest Inspection Services. We currently contract with 15 different communities in the FM area, from Valley City to Oxbow, and then Mapleton, a bunch of townships in Barnes County, providing building code administration services. We are a one-stop shop for permitting. We handle the customer interactions, we issue the permits, we perform the inspections, we perform the reviews, we handle all the calls on behalf of the jurisdiction from any of the subcontractors and contractors, professionals. And we are excited to have the opportunity to come here and just meet all you guys. And we're always excited when a jurisdiction is wanting to hear what we do, because we take pride in what we do. And I'm here to answer any questions you guys may have for us.
Mike, your fee for this project is gonna be how much? And for the E project, the I project?
The project value is stated at 200 million.
And what's your fee according to your?
Yeah, so looking at our fee schedule for the project, we would be at 850 cost of our building permit fee. And speaking to the fee, there's a North Dakota State Building Code, which has a recommended fee schedule for jurisdictions to utilize, similar to what Harwood has. That we are about 20% beneath that, and we've stated there, working with our jurisdictions to be fair and competitive. So that's where our fee would be, and then we would work with the city to do whatever was needed to accommodate.
I don't think you're 20% below us.
No, North Dakota State Building Code recommended fee schedule.
Oh,
Mike, I got a question for you. Have you dealt with projects similar to this in nature?
Yes, in fact, last year we wrapped up a 2-year project, Blake, with North Dakota soybean processors. And I think this project was quoted around 200 million. That project was 400 million. There was 13 structures there, including structures that were up to 7 stories. So we were out there every day of the week in every condition of weather, completing that project on behalf of the city of Castleton. And the project finished well. And we worked well with the city of Castleton engineers, public works, and the design professionals that work on that project.
Okay, thank you.
I guess we looked at your fee schedule, Shayla and I, and we come up with a different number than you did. The basic fee was 680,000, and you're 850,000. Can you explain the difference?
There's a plan review fee that's included, which is 25%.
Yeah, we added that, didn't we?
No, we just did the basic fee.
Hang on, sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would have been half. Yeah, good to have that. Does everybody want this?
I
I'd
think
like
so.
to see that. Different,
We should make copies and pass it around.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
So,
We'll give it just,
while we're waiting, so what's your level of involvement in the project? You do everything that the contractor, I guess the owner has got MVN engineering. They do quality control, I assume. So you're just duplicating that effort or what?
We're acting on behalf of the jurisdiction. So the permit applicant would have their construction manager working on their behalf, and then we work on behalf of the jurisdictions. We perform inspections, and some of which are duplicates. We will also accept the third-party inspection reporting for like deep foundation work, structural steel, welding, and those components that we would bring back. We would review any discrepancies for those on behalf of the jurisdiction we would have resolved prior to moving forward to the next stage of construction. Then we would do our framing inspections, installation inspections, mechanical inspections as well, which I don't believe that they would have their construction manager doing those inspections. We'd be involved in those as well.
MVN, are you here? Can you kind of explain to us what your effort is going to be out there on behalf of the owner?
MBN is really just like entitlement.
Can you speak up, please?
Sorry, MBN is just the entitlement process for for properties. So what we're providing is a civil engineering site design for the project. So APLD will probably be hiring a construction manager like Mr. Blunt has mentioned to be running the project from their side of things.
And we can give you that information. We've got our construction manager internal here too. If you want to answer this question.
Yeah, so from a construction management standpoint, inspection standpoint, as I mentioned, we have third-party inspections for concrete, soil compaction, weld integrity, fire life safety systems, those types of things within the site. We have that as a third-party service in our building to comply with the codes that are outlined within the construction document sets that are stamped by the licensed engineers or the licensed architects that are involved in it. Our work with the municipality side of the permitting side, obviously permitting on the front end of the side, but then making sure that we're hitting any sort of code compliance or life safety requirements at the end of the building so that we can get to a point to have a certificate of occupancy for the building and then ultimately occupy the building. There's state inspections for and state permits around electrical, plumbing, some mechanical systems. There's a few other things that the state is involved in as well. But at the municipality level, typically it's progress of construction along the way, but ultimately getting to a building that we feel comfortable from a CO standpoint or a certificate of occupancy standpoint.
So do you have a quality control program yourselves, or you have to hire somebody separate for that?
Both. So we have third-party inspections. So we'll have a third-party engineer that's involved. That's hired by us, but they quality control construction during the process. So like a compaction test or a concrete test that would happen along the way with our third-party control engineer. We have we have quality control departments within our own umbrella, like APLD employees. And then with our construction management team, they also have quality control people that would be within their construction management division. of this company. So they aren't true third parties when they work for the general contractor or they work for Applied Digital. But there is a third party that's involved from a testing and inspection agency that would be hired to the project that would have reporting that can be made available for whoever needs it.
Yeah, I guess getting back to you, Mike.
Yes.
I just don't want to be paying for duplicate efforts. If the construction contractor, the owner is doing a lot of quality control work is required, and they have third-party engineers working on it. I mean, the more money you spend, the more money you make, right?
That would be math, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's what I'm looking at, is how much do we really want to spend on this? And to me, 840,000 is a lot of money.
Not gonna disagree there.
Yeah,
Can
it's,
I put my 2 cents in?
Yeah.
I talked to Todd today, so yes, I stirred the pot. And I asked him if he took the project instead of them, how much he would charge. And he said $100,000. And then he obviously would have to dip into other spots, but he didn't think it would be over another 100,000 for the entire project.
I'm not sure if he's really looked into it that much, but because he would like to have been here tonight, but he had
commitments.
and
He was far away when we called.
so I guess that's my concern anyway.
I will mention that we're a full-time inspection services provider, so we are on staff for you guys full-time. We take every call for you on behalf of the Building Code Administration Program from any citizen, any project that they have, zoning questions for sheds, decks, fences. We kind of take that burden off the city. And then for the project like that, we take every aspect of that project on. I mean, and we're married to that project till its completion. And even like on NDSP, there's a year later, we deal with zoning compliance issues on that project, you know, that we're getting calls about for violations of zoning ordinance. So it's, and we don't charge, you know, our permit fee covers all of that. There's not additional charges to the
I
city.
don't know.
Can you just discuss briefly, so based on their description of the project and projects you've worked on before, can you explain what they described pretty much on par with other projects that you've done like that, in that capacity, having a point of contact at the site? That's your main point of contact for all things that you need to worry about as far as the inspection services go. Is it more is it two people working together because you have one person to company work representing a certain aspect of it, but you need to inspect and you have your perspective. So it's not necessarily people doing the same job. It is people doing the same thing towards getting that job completed. It's slightly different is what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
So can you maybe explain a little bit more about that?
I'll try to do that.
Okay,
Chris.
thank you.
So basically, the building official's role is to support the North Dakota State adopted building code on the project. And the applicant's support role is to, as they wish, quality control and to follow the project along to completion. We do work side by side with them throughout the entire project. We're in meetings with them on a weekly basis, daily basis in some cases, to discuss deficiencies, to work through, you know, code and life safety issues, accessibility, and those kinds of things. Up front, we also perform an extensive plan review of the project on behalf of the jurisdiction, along with the state fire marshal's office, and then also your.
I don't know what to do.
Doug Nelson from the state fire marshal's office will be working with the building code official on those reviews to get to the point where a permit.
From Applied Digital, same question. Is this pretty typical for a project like this to have someone in this role ensuring things are within compliance, building codes are followed? Is that pretty status quo for your projects that you do?
Yeah, so it's a normal relationship where there's the kind of third party construction side, owner side on one side, and then there's a municipality or representation of the municipality on the other side, and we work together to get to a final product here. I do know other large projects that I've been involved in this area have done similar things where they've brought in a third party inspector because it's above the reach of the local jurisdiction or the expertise of the local jurisdiction or just the capacity of them. So they have that service that comes in and helps supplement the needs of the city.
Well, our building permit is $999.90, is it? It leaves us with what, $150,000 or $140,000 for engineering, civil engineering costs or legal costs, are we sure that that's gonna cover it? Because anything over that's coming out of our hide.
Sarah, can you speak at all to what kind of expenses we may incur in the future that we've already done in the past?
Well, we already got costs
Yep,
to date.
Specifically related to the building permit.
yes.
I would have to defer to Andrew. He might have some involvement, I guess, as far as legal. There's not really a lot of legal involvement after it's ensuring,
Okay.
compliance with all the building codes and all that.
This might be easier.
Still looking.
Hi, Andrew. Andrew, can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine. I was not able to unmute on the Zoom call.
Okay. Were you able to hear the question as far as what kind of expenses could the city possibly incur, both previously and going forward on the project?
I think going forward, what I would see our involvement in on the engineering side is related to the site plan and a review of the site plan and any items out in the field that you would want us to be involved with, whether that's the detention ponds or the transportation facilities. It's a little bit of a guess as to how much involvement that would be, but I certainly wouldn't think that. I mean, if we got to the $10,000 or $15,000 range, I would think that would be on the high end.
Okay.
But that would be just how much involvement would you want us to be involved with? But typically, it would be site plan review, making sure that would meet any of the requirements, and then anything else in the field as we're getting through the construction of the rest of the site, but not really related to the building.
Great. The only other thing that I'd be wondering about is if there's any FEMA or any flood things that you would be helping us with.
There'd be probably a little bit of review. I would say that'd be pretty minor.
Okay.
I've already had some correspondence with MDN on flood elevations out there and that sort of thing. So they're going to handle the majority of that.
Do any council members have any questions for Andrew?
To that point, so based on what he just said, there will be some of what he discussed that you guys might be taking off that plate based on what we're looking at right here with the inspection contract.
From the civil
Yeah.
components, no.
Okay.
More engineering, we working through the civil
Okay.
aspects. We were working with them through the review process to make sure he's satisfied with everything they're doing there.
Okay.
And then the permit will be issued after Andrew's review and approval, state fire marshal's review and approval, and our building permit.
Yeah, according to the agreement that he's provided us, there's certain things that he does and certain things he doesn't do, and he's already listed the civil engineering portions that city responsibility, I guess, is on page 2 of that agreement.
To your point, just making sure we're not double paying for items.
I think we probably already are, but
Yeah.
that's my guess.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's Applied Digital's building. They sure as hell not gonna build a building that's not gonna stand. They got a big $200 million investment in it. They're gonna make sure that building is good. How much do we want to spend to try to double or duplicate what they're doing? You know, that's.
But just a reminder that their contractors and employees are working for them.
I realize that, yeah.
This is to protect the city, so there will be some.
Protect the city from
duplication,
what though?
but Any liability of approving plans that.
Andrew, I'm going to hang up on this.
Or, anything like that, this contract takes that responsibility. The people that are looking at it are carrying insurance and all of that, so it's just something to consider, their people are working for them.
I realize that, yeah.
I like that concern though Dick brought up though, because most, when do projects ever go according to budget, you know, it's still a little.
I'm gonna let Mike speak to that,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, so, the way we handle a building permit is we have our fee. We, as Sarah mentioned, we take on the liability for the project on your guys' behalf. We handle the entire process for you guys on your behalf. And if there was a shortfall on the permit fee, it's on us, not on you guys. That would come out of our margin, not the city. So we would complete the project. And that's how we've never charged another city in any of our 15 jurisdictions an after fee for a project because it went over budget.
So basically that number that you have there, that would be the contracted fee, not a penny more.
That's correct.
It's a big number, but it would give me some warm fuzzies at night knowing that we are doing our due diligence and making sure things go forward.
As long as we have enough money totally.
Correct. I agree with you. But considering the scope, and what is all involved, and I just, that's my thought. So, I mean, obviously this is the point of discussion, but that's my thought on the whole idea, because I certainly don't have the expertise to roll in there and start doing any sort of inspection of any kind. And I think to your point about to our city inspector is, that's wonderful. But I think this is going to be a significant lift over the next couple of years. I don't think he's fully dived into the amount of hours and time and effort that it would take to actually do this. I think that's just to throw out a number is one thing, but to actually put down what they think it would be, I think is a whole other, that's just my thought as well.
As long as we're kind of on the subject, MBN engineering, could you kind of go through what your plans are as far as starting the project, what kind of work's going to be starting, and when you're going to be needing approved plans and specs? Or,
Yeah, so Keith Lear, I'm a senior construction manager for Applied Digital, so I would be the site construction lead for our company out here. So to your point, it's sort of as soon as everybody's comfortable associated with it. Obviously, we have to get through formal building permits, those types of things as one component of it, but we have coordination to wrap up with the county. We talked the last meeting, we talked a lot about traffic control and how we're going to have traffic go around the site. We want to make sure both the county, the township, and the city are all comfortable with those traffic routings as well. So we would like to get going, like I said, in September, if that can be in short order, closer to today than to the end of September, great. But first and foremost, it's our permits approved. Is everybody comfortable from that standpoint? If this gets hired as an inspection or agency for you guys, we've got to make sure we're clear with them and they understand what's going on. They understand the process as well. But then very much making sure that the county's comfortable, the city department's comfortable, and the township comfortable on what logistics and planning and things like that look like before we would start rolling on the site.
so your first item of work, or the early stages of work, are going to be including what then?
First mobilization is to earthwork is to get going. So we would start with earthwork. We had a lot of dirt to move and start to build up the pad. Making sure we get to the flood elevation. We just mentioned that a little bit more. There's some requirements about the elevation of the building that it needs to be at. So we need to move dirt associated with that. We have some stormwater detention ponds on site that add to the earthwork scope that goes on to building up the pad. So we take from the pond, add to the pad, so we can try to level the site out as much as possible. But earthwork, primary scope. We have some temp roads and some logistics stuff for lay down and trailers and kind of office complexes and those types of things that'll get set up from a logistics and kind of a construction headquarters standpoint. Those are really primary focuses. But then moving beyond earthwork, then it becomes deep foundation systems. So we do piles out here because of the soils. Then we go into concrete footings and that type of stuff from there.
So when would you have to start your reviews? Right away or how soon?
Immediately would be the review process would start. We're probably somewhere around 30 to 45 days to get to a point where we would have all of our reviews complete. I know that Doug Nelson from the State Fire Marshal's office is probably 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer on a project that size. So we would get that stuff moving. The dirt work and stuff, however, typically, and this may be a better question for Sarah, can only happen outside of the actual building permit issuance. And then once they start with vertical construction, they'd have the permits in place.
No concerns from you on timeline or being able to be available for this project of this size or staffing.
I worked with Jamie, mentioned that to him already, that we're on
with that earthwork being moved that we touched on too, because I remember our city engineer last meeting was here there. You guys would be able to start moving dirt obviously before the permits are fully approved. Now, did you put any thought into like an entrance and an exit road you guys said that you're gonna put up yourselves? Because still a lot of concern about traffic through the city, and quite frankly, I'm very concerned about that as well too.
Yes, yes, we have. So heard the people loud and clear last week. We went back and re-looked at it. We've had some preliminary conversations with the county as well. But instead of primary traffic going to the north off of County Road 22, switching that so it's coming off of 81. 81 is a much quieter road from that standpoint. And then making sure that we put in our contracts no heavy haul truck or loaded trucks coming through the city of Harwood. I think there would want to be a discussion around, do you want all construction traffic, meaning F-150s and personal vehicles and things like that, not coming through your town? Obviously, they have the opportunity to stop at a gas station and buy sandwiches and all those other things. We don't want to undersell the economic impact of that with 1,000 guys or 800 guys coming to the site. But as we start talking about the heavy haul, the precast, concrete deliveries, making sure those don't come through the city, we absolutely can make that happen. So
I think that was my main concern. I don't know if anyone else has.
That was the concern that was
is
expressed by
materials,
residents.
we don't want a caravan,
Right.
that makes sense.
I-beams coming through town or
And so
precast coming through town.
our next steps with the county are to look at where would those intersections be, or those new kind of tip intersections be for the road access to the site. And then what do we do for signage and potential turn lanes and things like that? So how do we have a good solid traffic control plan, knowing when trucks are coming in and out, and then making sure we have the appropriate signage and safety measures in place to handle this as well.
Are you gonna be having turnouts like on Highway 22 or anything on 81?
Potentially, yes. So that's we pivoted. We're working on that plan right now. I talked to the county engineer earlier today as an introduction to this, and as we're starting to talk through this, we're scheduled to talk tomorrow and Friday and whatever it takes to make sure we're comfortable with that plan. So
You could potentially have like a entrance and then exit route, so you could basically kind of avoid the corner at Harwood with the big stuff as much as possible.
that's what we're hoping for. Yeah.
Covered a lot of ground with that one.
Lots of digest.
I guess that's all my comments on this portion.
Blake, you're still with us?
You will have to take a vote.
So in regards to, what do we need? We need a motion to move forward with that?
Is that just for
Is that what we
the
need?
AI site, or is this gonna be for everything we got?
I don't think it should be for everything.
Contract as it's currently written, it's just basically making them the code inspector know for the city, not just, it's not for projects.
Hey, I cannot mute myself anymore. Oh, there we are.
I guess Jayla was concerned about loss of revenue for the general fund, because
There we go.
with the permit fees, whatever money's left over goes to the general fund. If we go with MIS for everything, we're gonna lose that revenue. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, you could differentiate between commercial or residential or smaller projects, or I don't know, like if you have communities that do some of that, where you just provide commercial services or just, you know, residential, or divvy it out like that.
Valley City, they work with the local fire inspector to do sheds and decks and fences and additions, small additions, and accessory structures. And then we handle all the residential and commercial.
For tonight, in regards to Mike, the only thing I was proposing was the current project.
The AI project.
Yeah, we'll address the continuing relationship at a later meeting, but for tonight, I'm just looking to address the current project.
I'm tracking with you as well. I was not considering a longer term investment other than agreeing to this on this particular project.
So we need to change the agreement before it's signed, because now it includes everything.
Okay. You tracking with us?
You can vote on it, but
It would probably just be a change to the term
yes.
section to specify for this project.
So you've reviewed the, agreement and you're all good with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, with that change, we could specify that it's just for this project.
That
Change
works.
in terms doesn't lower our cost.
Well, we're still gonna perform all of those roles for you on this project.
You can't expect that, right? It's coming back your way.
Absolutely. But we would look forward to the opportunity to assist you guys should that need arise, and should your current inspector decide that he doesn't, is no longer gonna fulfill that capacity, we would definitely love to join you guys.
Do you want to address that point any further about utilizing it just for this project and not, and with the change in the agreement, is there anything that you would like to speak to on?
No, that would be acceptable, and like I said, that, whenever I sent that over, that was, that we can adjust to accommodate you guys, so that's not a problem, we can make those changes, that's.
Okay.
Dick, yeah,
I think we need to get Blake involved again.
yep.
Yep, okay, no, yep, no, appreciate that, and Mike, appreciate the comments and information. With the change to the contract that's proposed, would anyone like to make a motion?
Go ahead. If you
Say, I move that we contract with Midwest Inspections for the Applied Digital project. What else do we need?
I guess you could authorize Blake and Shayla to enter into the contract.
Authorizing Blake and Shayla to enter into the contract
But removing the term.
and removing the term. Any other friendly
Well, no,
amendments?
You said for this
Yeah.
project, so that is, yeah.
All right.
Are we good with that motion?
As long as Sarah is.
All right, Sarah, if you're good with that, do we have a second?
Yep.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. Sarah, if I'm correct, then we do not need to go over the building permit because that'll be now Midwest Inspections role.
Correct.
Okay, moving on to the, go ahead.
You're gonna go on to the building fee?
Yeah, I was going to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep. Onto the building permit fee. My understanding is Applied Digital is wanting to pay 10% over the cost, which would cover our administrative expenses such as Sarah and Andrew.
Blake, from
Yep.
from what I'm seeing, that's gonna be withdrawn. I do believe we're just gonna move forward. Do you want?
I can.
Okay.
Senior counsel regulatory in real estate for Applied Digital. So if it had been the hourly fee where you had your third parties and your general inspector and your public works folks, we had offered to provide that security for you that we would pay those actual expenses, including your city engineer, attorney, whatever they are, plus 10%. But it sounds like you're going with the general building permit cost instead, so.
So
We'll pay the 990,009, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Number.
Yeah. Okay.
$10 short, a million.
Okay.
Sounds like it's a sale.
So that agenda item is
Yep,
settled.
so we're done.
Okay, there's been a lot of requests for comments on certain issues. Does anyone on council feel the need to have a open forum tonight?
No, I do not.
Cowards.
Okay, all right, hearing nothing, I will take a motion to adjourn.
To say yes.
So move.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
The North
Aye.
Dakota Constitution, section 3, ensures that it only takes 25% of Harwood's voting population to force a recall election if you're not happy how they run these meetings and how they are going forward with this project. It is shady, it is underhanded, and they all know it. That's all I got for you.
So we're done?
We're done. Good night, sir.
Thank you, Greg.
Recording stopped.